All right, so we're home from the diner. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. So I was in my office, and then April said, "Why are you so hashtaggy now?" And I said, "Well, I want you to learn from this, so Google it, like, because we Google everything, and I'm sure Google has all the answers, right? Or some type of form of AI is going to give you that answer. So tell them, April."
In Google's words, you mean?
Tell them in your own words.
Hashtags are important because they allow your content to be easily discovered by a wider audience on social media by categorizing it with relevant keywords, increasing your reach, engagement, and visibility of making your post appear in searches related to specific topics or interests that people are actively looking for, even if they aren't already following you. Key points about importance of hashtag.
Go ahead. Keep reading.
Expand your reach, target specific audiences, boost engagement, promote brand awareness. Stop. How can I take you serious?
Go ahead.
Track conversations and join communities.
So that's why I'm so hashtaggy
Who
now.
told you that?
So
Because you were never a hashtaggy kind of guy.
I was doing it on YouTube, and then I stopped out of sheer just not staying committed to the task. Do you understand what I mean by that?
No.
So I knew that it had relevance and importance, but by the time that I did my video, I didn't go back and hashtag and do what I was supposed to do. Since YouTube was my primary source of creating content and trying to produce.
So TikTok told you that.
Oh, no. I already knew that there was a value there. I just wasn't executing consistently. So I did it for a while on YouTube years ago, and then I just stopped. And then I realized after getting more into TikTok that it was more convenient for me to do it. And TikTok seems like it's more of an explosive audience than YouTube. Although I have a following on YouTube and I'm reaching new customers and they're consuming Meineke Cinnamons and services, right?
Correct.
You know that for a fact.
I do.
So now, since I'm growing my TikTok channel, it seems like it's easier for me to just hashtag stuff in the next click of what the program is for TikTok versus YouTube.
Oh.
So out of sheer not me consistently executing things the right way, now I'm picking up where I left off, but I'm just focusing on TikTok's growth and YouTube's growth at the same time. So whatever is on YouTube now is on TikTok. The hashtagging is majority done on TikTok. So what we're going to see now is, can I grab a new customer from TikTok that doesn't necessarily use YouTube? And I'm going to feel that answer is going to become yes, as equal to Facebook, if not more, or YouTube is equal to the return on investment, which is more my time, right? Because I don't really spend any money on YouTube promoting or anything like that. It's organically growing on its own, where I'm spending more time with my TikTok with the same content, and I did some paid boosting. So in a nutshell,
16,000 views on one video.
On which video?
PO420 is not the
Hold on. I want you to meet. So April says I'm bipolar. So here, you turn the camera around. This is the other guy. This is the other me. Do you agree?
One other you.
Do you want the one other me?
One. That's just one.
The other one would be this guy. You don't want to meet this guy. And this is why I bought these, because I feel that these are my personalities.
That's another one.
That is definitely another one of me. This is the killer in me. You see that face a lot.
I do?
You see this face on me more often than you have in years.
I haven't seen it as much in the past 2 years that I did in the 3 years prior to that.
This guy right here is the guy that you don't want to meet either. And this is the guy you meet every day.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're my my alter egos right there. They're both suicidal murderers. So there are a lot of shop owners out there now are giving me more engagement. You're not the only ones that are struggling with what's going on in the world that's showing up in your business or your base. Some customers are just throwing money at certain establishments. I don't hear of any dispensaries suffering in any economic times. I don't ever hear liquor stores suffering in economic times. I don't think they care if a beer costs them $80 or if a bag of weed costs them $300. They're just always going to have people buying that, consuming that. For auto repair and home repairs and brick and mortar stores, yeah, it's a whole new world. In the old days of marketing, we're just going to use Yellow Pages. You remember the Yellow Pages? If you wanted something before the internet and phone, there was a giant bulk brick that came and you were like, all right, I need a plumber, or all right, I need a roofer, or all right, I need this, or I need that, or whatever. If you wanted to find somebody and you knew their name, you could scroll through the white part of it and say, oh, well, Bob Marley lives, at this address with his phone number. And hey, Bob, hey, what's going on? Now today, the part of people engaging with you and your services.
Now you have to pay for that information because 411's not free.
I get it. But your consumers are so distracted by cell phone, tablet, streaming TV, and their PC today because they're being served with so much competition, so much lies, so much non-lies, so much good content, so much bad content. Everything is at their reach now, and if you're not engaging with those consumers or making that impression, and your competition is, I say, there is a certain amount of loyalty in my business for customers, and April will tell you that. We have people that will not even put air in their tires unless I say it's okay, right?
Right.
But then you have the other part of the world, which everyone is after your customer. And it's served to them in their phone. It's served to them while they're sleeping. So that April and I were talking about, I don't know, we want to buy a new TV. Tomorrow morning when we wake up and open our phones up, someone's going to serve us an ad of a TV or a TV promotion or a sale or something like that, right? And that's facts. And then they'll geo-target or they'll retarget that same consumer. And if you're not there anymore, you don't exist. And I'm going to tell you this, I feel that the loyal buyers and loyal generation is fading away. There's certain people that are just very brand specific and they will stay with that brand until they die, regardless of if they're expensive, right? Because my brother and I talked about this. We were talking about snow and snow plowing, which I do. And his businesses are a kind of a trip for me. And how expensive his services are, but what was the most important thing he said about his services? One, I don't have to do it, and the guy never misses a beat. He always shows up. So he puts value in that person, and he's staying with that person, although I could still do that service for him for half the cost. So maybe next year he may, knowing that I will make sure that his business is open like other businesses because he knows I'm that type of guy. But for him, it's not necessarily how much it costs, is that the dude shows up and does his job all the time. Do I feel that the consumers are like that all the time? I don't think so. I think that they don't put value on certain things. And if you tell them no, and they're not that loyal, they're not buying you and they're buying your brand and they're invested in your services, they have no problem going right to a quick lube down the street from you and getting your oil change done. And a lot of shop owners are going to see that and pay more. They'll go to a complete strange brand to them, not know who the manager is, not know what any of the technicians are, and they will instantly satisfy that need because as soon as the phone or the device heard it or they saw it, well, my guy said no, or it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? And they went to a complete stranger and paid more and probably got less of a service or less quality. It wasn't like that long ago. They didn't really have those options. So the old days of marketing are done. You have to be almost everywhere now. And if you just look around, the secret's in your hand. Look in your hand, your phone's in your hand, look around everywhere you go. Go to the doctor's office, the phones are in your face. Go to the football game, the Eagles game, everyone's phone's out. Go to a concert, phones are out. Go to the diner, phones are out. Go anywhere, right? The phones are out. And there are tools that could serve customers your content, serve customers your brand. And if you're not engaging in that and think that things are going to change, it's not. And this is why I said to April that I had some of the tools at my fingers and I wasn't committed to doing them all the time, and now I'm committed to doing them all the time now.
Yeah.
So I may wind up doing it both places. And April says, if you're working more now than ever on your social media content. And I said, yes, I wake up, I'm answering questions, I'm thinking about content, I'm editing certain things out, I'm changing titles. Now I'm managing YouTube, now I'm managing TikTok. And I'm working more now on my business, but it's not only my business, it's working on me personally because I'm learning a lot from this as well. It is taking a lot of time from other things, but it has to be done unless you can afford to pay people to do this, and it becomes very expensive. So you can organically.
I offered to do it.
Well, I'm saying organically I can do it. It's going to get to a point to right now where there's so many questions being answered on TikTok just in the last.
You just had like 5 comment on one
just
video.
That I just started with TikTok and it's blowing up to where you're probably going to have to start managing TikTok and YouTube and answering questions and clicking likes, and if you don't know the answer, you're gonna have to just. It's getting to that point to where it's becoming work.
I offered to do this a while ago.
But the ultimate goal is to grow the Meineke business system and the brand in general before I die from stress or old age doing this every day.
You're working all the time.
I'm working all the time. But
the only time you put your phone down is when you put it on to charge.
True. But what I'm saying in general is somebody's trying to reach me to sell me something on my phone or make an impression or retarget me for something. And that's going on for everybody in automotive. Everyone is looking to get your customer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fact. So you still have to just, it's not thinking outside the box. All the tools are here today. You have to just make a commitment to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be consistent at it. And this just isn't for me, because what I do here benefits Meineke as a brand. It benefits me as the owner and owner operator. It benefits you because the lights stay on. We have food. We meet different people all the time from YouTube. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of moving parts to what I'm doing here. It's not just solely benefit me. It benefits everybody. And if my son actually even cares about this when I'm done with it, which I doubt he will be, because he sees what it's taken from me and what it has given to me. And it's definitely not what he wants for his life. That's for sure. Would you agree? Right. It's a fact. I mean, look at most of the successful shops on YouTube and TikTok that I follow. They don't have a manager per se. They have maybe their wife or husband and wife doing it, and then their service team. But I'm going to tell you, these are the elite guys in our business, and they don't have employees per se. They do have employees, but the owner's in the shop every day. The owner's involved. He may not be selling the job. He may not be estimating a job, but he's there making sure everything's the way that he wants it. You're not getting that at Firestone or Pep Boys or Mavis or anything like that. You're getting people who are just punching the clock. But people are consuming their services there, and their turnover rate is ridiculous. I can't tell you how many times I've been to Pep Boys to buy something. It's never the same mechanics. It's never the same managers.
Oh, what video they keep comment on?
So it's not just you in the automotive industry it's struggling. It's probably in a lot of different places. But if you're marketing in the old ways or waiting for something to change or happen in your business, you have to use the tools that are available. You can do it organically. It is harder. You can also pay people to do it too, and I know that works. So, and this is just coming from another guy who says, hey man, December and January were horrible for him, and this guy's got a beautiful shop and he knows what he's talking about. And I know what you're saying.
I told you take everything too
we
personal.
felt this not only in my business a little bit, but even in the used car dealer market that I deal with, multiple used car dealers. They felt a ripple effect in it too that really slowed their businesses down to a drip. And it still hasn't come back yet. So I think they're waiting for tax return seasons, but there's a lot of moving parts to what's going on there too with interest rates. The immigrants are stopped from influxing. They're not getting that money in the cash. They're not typically going to go buy a brand new car. They're going to go buy a used car from a used car dealership or auction. So this impacts that whole business, and it also impacts me because that's how I built my shop. Is used car dealer work. And if you're not doing used car dealer work, although it is a pain in the ass, you build a solid relationship with a used car dealership and you take care of them and you have special labor rates and pricing for them. It will be a revolving door of income. It just will not be a revolving door of high profit income, but it's always some type of income, which makes my shop stay kind of on a level keel all the time, where when the retail customer is not spending, the wholesale accounts usually are spending. And it's like this, it'll do this, right? Retail will be here, wholesale will be here, and then we'll see this trend, right? And then we'll see retail do this, we'll see wholesale do this, and then you'll see them parallel each other. Sometimes they're at the same path, sometimes they're on the same trend. My goal was always to have them like this, but it's never like that. It's either it's always like this, like this, like this. But somehow on all those waveforms of my business system, it usually keeps me a very average and consistent to where I can pay my bills. I can keep the employees for a 40-hour work week. Everybody can stay level, I'll call it. You know, I don't really have to worry about, can I make payroll? Can I make rent? It hasn't been that way for me, knock on wood, that everything that I do has kept it, even though I stress all the time, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? What can I do better? That it's not just you, but you can't just sit idle. You have to do more than what the old marketing strategies were. Is television going to work for you? I don't know. I'm going to tell you, everybody's on their phones, social media, search engine optimization, videos, content. This is where it's at. And it's not cheap, it's expensive. But you could do it for free for yourself. Good luck. If you got any questions, we'll answer them. Thanks for watching.